I don't think Kurt's too excited for this video. I'm just going to go out and say it. And before you guys say, oh, you said you weren't buying a Booker's. I didn't buy a Booker's. I bought a Little Book. They're different things. And the only reason I did that is because the Little Book Chapter 8 from last year was just fantastic.
It was pretty good.
I don't have the exact recipe with me right now, but I believe it was mostly rye whiskey, showing that, who makes Little Book? Jim Beam? Yikes, that's embarrassing. Showing that Jim Beam should probably come out with a Booker's Rye again, because they really know what they're doing with their ryes. This one, though, this is the None for Granted. This is Chapter 9. This is a bourye, which I know is also your favorite. So we're kind of at a double whammy here. Kurt's really not a fan of the Booker's / the Little Books, and he doesn't like bourye's. So you're excited, I know.
Well, all I was told is I got the intro on this one. I got it. So I kept my mouth shut. I did ask that. First thing I asked, I thought you were going to buy any more Bookers. And I was given the same explanation as you got. However, I do agree with him that last year's Bookers was pretty darn good.
I don't recall it making any of our videos because it wasn't just a rye. It was a whiskey,
right.
And there were just so many better whiskeys than this that came out. Right. This is going to fall into that category again because it's a bourye. But this is 8-year Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey, 11-year bourbon, 7-year bourbon, 7-year bourbon, and 8-year bourbon. Those are all Kentucky Straight bourbons.
Okay, well, that's not bad.
There's a proof hidden on here. There's all these notes on here. I don't really care about those.
I see you got a sign too, eh?
Yeah, shout out to our good friend Rob S. Didn't say the last name there. You're welcome. Fred No, and I really can't read cursive. I think Fred signed it twice. Right? There's 2 signatures on here.
Wow, I think he did actually. Yeah.
So I got the double sig from Fred.
We shouldn't open that. It might have been worth something. How many double signatures do you get?
I don't know.
I don't think there could be that many.
Honestly, I think Fred watches the videos and really respects what I have to say about whiskey from time to time. So he's like, yeah, I got you. Thanks, Fred. Appreciate that.
I don't know.
Kurt does have a glass. It's just down there.
I do. I got one. Cheers to y'all. And I will. I am eagerly awaiting this experience because last year's Little Book was pretty good.
Do you have a Chapter 8 here?
No. You have it at home.
Oh.
I believe.
Shoot. I was going to do a side-by-side.
I'm 90% sure I always give you those.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
I have a ton of Bookers in my basement. I don't know where any of them came from. Probably here.
Probably yes. Okay, well, I'm not mad about that.
No?
No.
Okay, I'm kind of surprised.
Are you?
I really think I think I'm just like on one right now because I'm kind of struggling with the nose. I blame my nasal impairment here. You have a nasal impairment too, right? Yeah,
I do. I actually had surgery, yes, but you stuck some instrument up your nose and tried to peel the scab off.
Yeah, it was one of those like tool kits that you get at Home Depot to like scrape gunk out of
I'm
places.
sorry I even said that. I apologize.
I didn't know what else to use.
I mean, it's all on the lighter tones here. I got some honey in here. I do get a little bit of herbal in here, probably from the rye influence. It's not minty at all.
Definitely not minty at all.
No.
It's sweet. It is honeyed.
Sweet.
I do get that herb note in there. I kind of like it though.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, maybe a light caramel. I don't really get a lot of oak.
I almost get no oak.
I don't get anything dark per se. Molasses, baking spices, anything on those lines.
I will say too, I'm not really well versed in the bourye space. I think bourye's for me are similar to like mixing food on a plate. You know, I have to have everything compartmentalized on my plate. You know, Thanksgiving is a nightmare for me because you got like these nasty green beans and the juice from the green beans in your mashed potatoes. Disgusting.
No, listen, man.
No.
My favorite part, Trent and I both agree on this. We want to kind of get outside the box a little bit when it comes to Thanksgiving dinners.
Yeah.
I'd be all over, Cajun experience for Thanksgiving.
I would love that.
Bring it on. I'd love that too. But we can't really do that because, we have to kind of walk in a good line there for the family. So one of my favorite parts of Thanksgiving, though, is putting my mashed potatoes on my plate, putting that old green bean casserole right on top, and put some old hot sauce on there too. Oh, that's the best part.
If you're talking like fresh green beans, great. But if you're talking canned ones that you put like the
bean
nasty
casserole.
onion stuff,
It's
nasty,
good, dude.
nasty, dude.
That hot sauce on there too, it just sings, man. It's good stuff. I like it though. I got kind of a sweet iced tea note here too.
We got on a little bit of a tangent there. I would rather have just a straight up rye or a straight up bourbon, something maybe like a blend of bourbons. I really don't care, but I still kind of struggle to understand the point of the blending of the rye and the bourbon. I don't know. I like rye, so it makes me sad to see an 8-year rye from Jim Beam going here.
And I'm with you. I'm with you on that. There's very few bourye ryes that I actually do enjoy.
Yeah. I'm not mad about that.
I'm not mad about it either.
I was honestly kind of nervous.
Not mad. I mean, it's hot.
Yeah, what is
that proof?
What's the proof? 121.8.
This is not the first sip of the day. We've already recorded a video.
It
stings. It stings.
Yeah, I'm leaving. We're doing a little bit of pre-recording. I'm going on a little trip here for a couple days. Tomorrow I'm leaving at 1 a.m. So I gotta.
Oh, your mom will love that.
Does she watch these still? She'll probably text me.
Probably will.
And be like, "You're not leaving at that time."
No, I'm sure that's gonna happen. Yeah, I'm not mad about it either. It is a little hot for me, you know, true to Booker's form, true to Jim Beam. It's a little spicy.
I think the palate's actually quite nice. Would I say that it's better than last year's? No. I haven't had all the little books. I haven't been around that long collecting and doing all that kind of stuff. I think the farthest back I have is Little Book 3. Mm-hmm. And I think that you gave me that because you didn't like it or something.
Probably.
I like it though.
Yeah,
I think it's good.
I don't mind it really. I mean, if it was down here, would I pull it off the shelf on occasion with everything else down here? Probably not.
Shame.
I think it's pretty decent though. There is a wood note in there that seems a bit drying and a bit. What's the right word for that? It's not bad. It doesn't taste bad, but it's kind of like a obnoxious, boring wood note on a lower tone. Please, not horrific by any stretch.
It's like your standard 2x4, but you're looking for like a nice cedar 2x4, right? Mm-hmm. I kind of understand what you mean. That's kind of how I would phrase it. You're hoping, especially with something at this price point. I think this was $140, $150.
Okay.
You're hoping for something that's a little bit less boring, for lack of a better term, or something a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
From a wood note, especially with these age statements in here. Mm-hmm. Like you're not talking 4-year bourbons or
right.
2 to 4 year bourbons where the oak might be a little bit less matured.
I will say I would give it a solid B as far as blending the rye and the bourbon together.
Yeah.
I thought it's fairly successful here. There's some bourye ryes that's just no. Automatically, no, not for me. And that's just me. That's my personal palate. I wouldn't react that way to this one. I thought they did a pretty good job blending the two together. As Trenton mentioned, there's some decent notes there, but it's kind of monotone. Would you agree with that? It's kind of a monotone sip.
I wouldn't say it's the most complex thing that I've ever had. I do think there's a couple nice notes in it, but it's not like, you know, a roller coaster of flavor. It's just you got a couple nice notes in there. The mouth feels nice. I think it's pretty creamy. You get some nice rye spice at the end. I think probably from the rye whiskey in here. Mm-hmm. I think the velvety nature. You get the caramels and you get the
a little bit of caramel. I think there's a tea note in here too.
I could see that.
There's a tea note in here too. There's that wood note that I was referring to.
I would probably give like a B. Mm-hmm. You know, would I go out and buy another one? No, I would not.
No.
Would I go out and buy another one of the chapter 8s? I would, because that's just my preference.
I get it.
I haven't seen any reviews on this. I've purposely not been looking at reviews on this so that my influence isn't swayed in one direction or another.
I mean, you know, does it stack up to $140 to me? No, it doesn't. But I'm probably the wrong guy to ask that question.
This would be much better at like $100. And that's still an expensive bottle.
Yes, it is.
But, you know, there's a lot that goes into these blends. I'm not making excuses up for Jim Beam.
No.
Just the nature of everything right now is it's hard to really say like what's a good price point for things and what's not. I would be much happier paying $100 for this, but I still, even if that price point, I would not go out and purchase another one after this was gone. Would I recommend other people purchase it?
You know, I've been preparing, just to give you a little bit of an idea, I'm preparing a show, you know, next week, maybe the week after, distillery review. It's been a long time since we've done that for Augusta Distillery, doing great things. A little bit expensive, no doubt. But their 10-year single barrel Trenton is roughly the same price as that bottle.
It's a straight bourbon, right?
Straight bourbon, no contest. Zero contest. But once again, I probably should just keep my mouth shut because
Let it rip.
no, just because Jim Beam doesn't really line up with my personal palate. It's not high on my list. That doesn't mean that you're wrong if it's high on your list. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So that's just my take on it.
And I will say this: unless you are collecting the entire lineup of the little books, or unless you really love little books, I don't know that I would really recommend this per se, especially if you have last year's. This is not better than last year's. If you're trying to find a release of little book that is better than last year's, I wouldn't say this is the one.
But I want to reiterate, it's not way worse than last year's.
No, it is
I'm
not.
not mad about it. I thought it was a pretty decent sip. I'm glad we did the video.
I would give this a B.
I was a little bit, I had some caution. The flag was going because like, oh gosh, I don't know. But yeah, you know, it's fairly enjoyable.
Yeah.
How about that? Oh well.
I don't know if we've struggled that much with like an actual thing for a while, but
I'm trying to be fair. I really am. I'm trying to be honest, but yet I'm trying to be fair.
yeah.
You know, it'd be horribly unfair of me to not give it the kudos that it actually deserves just because it may or may not stack up to my personal palate. You know, and I don't want to do that to you folks out there. So
Well said.
hopefully we've done that successfully. All right, guys. That's all you got for you today. As always, we ask you to please drink responsibly. See you next time right down here with Trent and me in a good old basement bourbon bar. See you later.